I found about receivers, this is what you taught me. They don't care how much you know until they know how much
They both communicated the same.
You've got to delegate, because oftentimes
They want to be where things are happening, and they love to network.
a lot of musicians, a lot of singers, a lot of songwriters,
Yes.
you look back and you go, oh my goodness, that would have been tragic. Well, if you're enjoying Table Talk, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and remember to click that notification bell to stay up to date on all of our latest posts. So have you ever hit a wall in a relationship? Maybe it's a marriage that feels like it's fallen apart, or a family member that's grown distant. Well, today's guests are here to share powerful, real-life stories of how God is using life languages to save marriages, restore families, and bring healing to hopeless situations. But before we get to that, join me around the table is April Simons. How are you?
I'm doing great, and this personally has helped me, helped my family, so I'm so glad we're talking about it.
Me too. I love it. Dorothy Newton, how are you?
Doing great, doing really good. And you can never learn too much. I mean, everything, nothing is wasted.
Yeah.
And this is life languages. It's not the Bible, but it is the Bible because it affects your life every single day.
Yeah, and it's derived from the Bible.
Rachel Lamb Brown.
Hi.
You like this?
I don't like it. I love it. It's completely transformed my life in more ways than one. But if you could tell me that there was a tool that you could take so that people could understand you better and you could understand people better and you could grow deeper in relationship,
Well, it
like
helped me so
why
much.
wouldn't you do that?
Because you're my daughter, but you had languages that were totally different.
Complete opposite
From me.
me and her.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, because once you understand like those languages, you can help cultivate and develop that person
We need to ask the coaches,
that God has made them to be.
how do you parent a mover child or a responder child?
Yeah.
Because they might have some good tips for us.
Oh, totally, totally, because I had both.
Yep.
And so total opposite. And so, but you are a little world changer, and I love that about you. Anna Kendall, how are
Yes,
you?
Just wonderful. So glad we're talking about this. And you know, the life languages, as we talk, it can sound real intense and difficult and complicated.
It's not.
It is so simple. My grandchildren, from the age of 4 on, they've understood the languages.
Yeah, I love it.
It is
I love
so
it.
simple.
Well, and we're going to hear a little bit how they started. David and Cindy Murdoch, welcome to the table.
Thank you.
And what is it you call David?
My honey.
Well, you call him more than that. You call him your king, your...
Oh, my king, my
Yes,
prince.
yes.
My prince that I used to, I've told on the table many times, my prince that came riding in
Well,
on a
you've been
Harley.
on the table for so long, and we've never seen him before.
He's real, y'all.
He is real. And we're talking about how many years now?
17.
Wow.
17
That is
years.
so
Can you believe
good.
it?
That
I
is
love
so-
it. Well, their life languages really saved their marriage, and they're going to tell you that in a minute. But it's more than a communication tool. It's a key that's breaking down barriers and restoring relationships. And of course, Anna, Dave, and Cindy are back to help us go deeper into how this assessment works and why it's changing so many lives. Yesterday, we talked about people should take the test.
Yeah.
And we gave you a code where you could, they gave us $10
Joni
off.
10.
Joni
It's
10.
called Joni. Just go to lifelanguages.com and use the code Joni10 and take the test. I think it's normally $49, but it's $39. And you can get your personal profile. It tells you what your languages are. And in Dorothy, we have all 7 languages.
Yes, yes.
But we'll settle into 2 or 3. And so there's 3 categories. And Anna, the Lord gave this to you and Fred how many years ago?
Well, we've been married 60 years. This was probably about 50 years ago that we started with
that's
it.
amazing.
It is, it is. And God would just give us little downloads at a time, and we would take that and work with it.
And how did you come to find it in Romans 12 in the Bible, and the 7 motivational gifts?
Yes, we were part of a Christian psychiatric hospital group. We had a hospital in Fort Worth, we had one in Albuquerque, and one in California. And one morning we were having a staff meeting with one of our spirit-filled psychiatrists. And as we're discussing the latest things in the life languages, and we're just starting to put the test together, and he said, you know, I believe what you all are finding out here is Romans 12. And we turned it, we said, oh no, we don't know enough. That couldn't be what we're doing, because Marilyn Hickey and all these other people have taught on Romans 12. And then we prayed about it, and the Lord confirmed that to us. That is exactly, but he brought us in kind of through the back door where we first found the 3 categories and then started to identify the communication styles under each category. And it was just like a line upon line, precept upon precept.
And so the 3 categories are, again, you have all 7 languages, but you'll settle into 2 or 3.
Yes.
So with your first language, you either feel first or think first.
Or act first.
Move first.
Yes,
Act first. And so some of you are like, oh, I know what I do first. but, you know, your second language might be something else.
Exactly. And, you know, an interesting thing about the languages, like if your first language is English and you speak Spanish as your second language, you'll do it with an English accent. If you speak German as your third language, you don't do it with a Spanish accent. You do it with your English accent. So your first language gives accent to all of the others.
Okay. Well, have you ever felt like you're just not connecting no matter how hard you try? Well, one husband was there too until Life Languages brought real breakthrough. Let's take a look at what changed everything.
Take a moment. Find yourself. Deeper connection starts with understanding. Every language helps you discover the art of relating to others. Your strengths, your weaknesses in detailed summary to bring you closer to those around you. Everyone wants to be understood. Find the connection that you've been missing. Get your results at lifelanguages.com.
All right, so there was a husband. He must have been a contemplator.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of chaos going around.
Yes.
And contemplators don't do well with that,
they need
right?
peace.
No, they need
Contemplator are those that think first.
Think.
And so,
think and think.
One
And
of the
think.
stories that I heard that helps you understand how this could help a marriage is there was a husband who was a high contemplator, and he would be at work all day, and then his wife stayed at home. She was a high responder, and he would come home, and he would want to go on the balcony and be by himself, read a book, have a cup of coffee or whatever, and
Or even get on the internet.
she on the internet, do something by himself, and she just thought, I haven't seen you all day. Like, do you not like me? You want to be around me? And in reality, it had nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
He just needed a little bit of time and
Recharge.
space to recharge.
Right.
And once she understood that,
She's good.
she no longer felt
She wasn't offended
She
by
wasn't
that.
offended by it.
And, you know, that comes to communication. If the husband would come in and say, honey, I love you. I'm going to go spend a little time alone. I got to decompress. I'll be back in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, and she's fine because you're communicating. Let's go through the languages real quick.
Okay.
And the filters.
Okay, yes, mover is...
Mover, you want to start there?
Yeah, well,
Oh, I do?
a mover in the Bible would have been maybe John the Baptist. They're prophetic.
Yes.
They move first. They're
Go
they're
into
actually-
action.
They're standard
Yes.
bearers if they're healthy. They're amazing.
And
Must be healthy.
courageous.
Tell you a story real quick about the mover and to show you the difference because it is character-based. A mover, we profiled 2 people, 2 different people.
It's true.
One, they were both first language movers with high scores, so they pretty well spoke, communicated, behaved mover. One was a minister of the gospel. One actually was in jail for robbing a armed robbery. But they both communicated the same.
Right.
So it can tell you the communication styles don't change, but with God in you,
Yeah.
it can change how you
I
communicate.
know, we've always said that a mover could be the head of a gang or it could be the head of a mega church.
Yeah.
Right.
know.
So what is the filter for the mover?
What's your motive?
What is your motive?
What is your motive?
What is your motive?
When you speak to a mover, you let them know right off what your
They
intentions
need directness. They don't need a lot of
They don't
fluff.
need to
Why are you
think.
saying it that way? What's
Yeah.
the tone? Why are you? Is there something else you're trying to?
What is
Somebody
what are you-
stopped and gave me $50 one day, and she was with me. Remember that? And I said, "What do they want? Why
Yeah,
are they
there's
giving me
always, you
this
want to know what their
Why did you
motive.
just give me 10 compliments before you asked me if you want something? Or are you trying to get?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yes.
What's your motive?
Yes.
What's your
And
motive? Okay, that's the mover. That's
It's
the
hard
mover.
to receive because you're thinking, okay, they
There's a
want
motive
something.
They want
behind it.
something
They want
behind it.
something.
Okay, the doer is the other kinetic or language that
Action
moves.
language.
Action
Yes,
language.
yes.
Yeah.
And so a doer in the Bible might have been Moses, might have been Martha. If you want to get something done, get a doer. They make a
right,
list,
yeah.
they check it off.
Well,
They're
and
very detailed.
Yeah, they are. And the thing about Moses was Moses took on too much and he couldn't do it all. So Jethro, his father-in-law, said, you've got to delegate, because oftentimes doers want to do it all themselves.
Yeah, and it was his father-in-law that gave him that advice, and he followed it
He
because
followed
it was overwhelming him. The children of Israel were definitely overwhelming. There's no doubt about
And the
that.
most annoying thing, if you're a doer, is if somebody interrupts you while you're
Yes,
doing.
that's
Thank you very
right.
much.
So I'm third doer. So when Josh will come and I'm like, babe, I'm doing. Let me finish my
Gosh, you sound
task.
like your dad.
And I will
Oh
get
my
back
gosh,
to
you
you.
sound like your dad. What is the filter for the
The
doer?
filter for the doer
Are you
is,
doing your share?
are you doing your share?
Are you doing your share? All right. Okay.
And if you can let them know you're doing your share, they are great.
Okay. Okay. So those are the two kinetic or languages
Yeah,
that
the
are
action
action
languages, that's right.
Okay. So let's go to the emotive languages.
Yes.
And that would be the influencer and the responder.
Yes.
Okay. So influencer in the Bible would have been Peter.
Yes, totally.
And Peter was always talking. He did good in front of crowds.
Exactly.
He wanted to be right next to Jesus.
They want to be where things are happening, and they love to network.
Okay, so an influencer in the Bible would have been Peter. Who else
Yes.
would have been influencer?
Peter is such an obvious one. And of course, we can see where Jesus spoke all of the
He
languages.
did.
So
He had them
that's
all like perfectly balanced.
perfect. That's
Okay,
right.
responder, energized by feelings.
Yes.
They're sensitive, nurturing. They show emotional depth and care. A lot of musicians, a lot of singers, a lot of songwriters.
Yes.
And surprisingly, a lot of athletes.
Yeah, football
boxers,
players.
Yes,
any kind
yes.
of football players,
Yeah, it's true.
baseball players.
They want to defend and protect.
Yes.
Because they're very passionate.
Well, and
They're
so
very, very passionate.
responder in the Bible would have been King David,
King David, that's right. And
who
and we
wrote so
think-
much of the Psalms.
And we
about
think
reading.
Mary that
Yes.
was at the feet of Jesus,
Yeah.
worshiping him.
One of the things I found about responders, this is what you taught me, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
And that is
If
so
you
true.
let them know that you love them and you care for them and you're proud of them, they will work so hard for you.
Oh,
They'll
yes.
do anything for you.
That is
That's so
that is
true.
their filter. That's how they filter life.
And they're
What's
very,
how
your
you
question?
connect.
Do they
very
really care?
loyal.
But they
you
have
care?
to. But they have to
Do
be.
you really care?
You have to be careful though when you have the emotives at the top that you don't let yourself be led
That is true.
by those emotions.
That is true.
So, but if you know that you are that, then you can stop and say, okay, I need to go to my shaper and think about this before I make a decision, and not let the responder.
Because if you know yourself, you can control yourself, which Fred has always said. And me being a high responder, there's been times, just like I said about the action languages, the emotive languages can make major decisions in life and do things, and later when they think about it,
Yeah.
they think, oh my goodness, that was totally emotive.
We were just talking about yesterday. We went to lunch and we were talking about where Cindy was in life. This is before David, and she was telling me about a situation of someone that might be possible interest. And I'm like, no. And she was like, but why? And so we were talking about how
Back then, it's just so emotive.
it was so emotive. But now you look back and you go, oh my goodness, that would have been tragic, right?
Tragic.
So you can't
And David
lead
agrees.
by your emotions for sure. Okay,
David, David, I want to ask you, how do you talk to a responder?
How do you talk to them?
gently.
Gently. How are you doing today, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
warm and caring, just
I
knowing
used to
that
do what did you do today?
And then I felt
that
like I had to
tone,
go
and she
through my
just-
to-do list. I felt like I was being interrogated by him
I've learned to
about
say,
my
how
day.
do you do? How are
See,
you
that's
doing?
so interesting because you learned it through this. And I mean, it, like I said yesterday, it helped me so much, even communicating with my kids. But that's huge. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
that's
because I
saved
will
everything.
never communicate
Yeah.
responder. It's
Yeah.
too low.
Yeah.
But I can
He
understand
understands
Yeah.
it.
And to be successful, then I
And that
learn
can
to
save a
speak it.
marriage.
If you want to get a certain result,
That's-
it motivates you
Exactly.
to
Of
get that
course.
result.
Oh,
If it's that
and
easy,
he
why wouldn't
gets-
you do it?
He gets the result.
Okay.
And then I can go back to being me.
I love it. Okay, so let's go on to. So we talked about the action. We talked about the feeling. So we've done mover, doer, action, influencer, responder, emotive, feeling. You feel first. Let's go to those that think first. There's a lot of people that think first.
That's right.
We'll start with the shaper. leading the pack. Shapers are analytical, strategic, bring structure and direction. A lot of CEOs are shapers. And what's the filter for shaper?
Do you have a plan? And if you don't have a plan, I can probably give you one.
Exactly. Now, April, you have a lot of shaper.
I do.
Because you're always like, you're going here, there, traveling.
And
you got a
different
plan?
seasons in life cause you to rise up to something else. And definitely a lot of that.
Yeah. And
Shapers need agreement for the plan specifically.
That's right.
That's super important. Like if you don't agree with their plan, it's going down south.
Yes, they don't need the yes man agreement, like, oh, yes, yes. But they need to know that you've bought into the plan and you want to be a part of it.
Well,
They're
ownership.
precise and organized.
Yes.
yeah, they're very organized. And so a lot of times they, because I have high shaper, but I love to have meetings. I love to get intel from everyone.
Right.
I like to delegate. I like to give people, the job to do. I don't want to micromanage people.
you don't.
In the Bible, Nehemiah would have been a shaper.
Great
Yes,
shaper, because
yes.
he totally strategized everything, even going to the king.
Going to the king and
permission.
building the wall,
Yes.
not coming down off the wall until it was built.
They knew to
No
hold
distractions.
Then no distractions. Okay, producer, creating abundance. They're resourceful, responsible, financially adept.
I could just say
Tremendously
it again.
resourceful.
They're great managers. And
Their filter is, are you managing your life?
Joseph
If not, let
in
me
the
manage it
Bible.
for you.
Yeah, that's right.
Joseph would have been in the
Joseph and
Bible.
Abigail.
A perfect example of a producer.
Yeah, so good, so
And
good.
how God put him in that position, knowing that was his gift.
Okay, what is their filter, the producer?
Are you managing your life?
Okay, so let's go to the last one, which there's 3 cognitive that you think first. Again, you have all 7.
Yes.
But you'll settle into the top, maybe 1, 2,
You
or 3.
have the most energy for those top ones.
top ones, yeah.
Exactly.
But you can move into any of them.
You
But,
absolutely can
So
access them.
contemplator, thinking, a quest for knowledge, reflective, thoughtful. They provide insight and depth.
Very strategic.
They don't.
Very smart.
No, they don't move fast.
Very slow.
But they usually will make the right decision.
They will always make the right decision.
Because they think through.
Because they've already thought through all
You
the
have
issues.
a contemplator that works in a high position
And
for
I
you.
love it because my mover is like, let's go. And she's like, wait a second. Because a mover, we're just going to start and we're going to figure it out. This is how we're going to get to the end.
That's right.
The mover is going to be back here.
Yeah.
And they're going to wait. And I'm already way
Not the
ahead.
mover, the contemplator's going to be
The
back there.
contemplator, sorry, is going to be back here.
Yeah.
I'm going to be way ahead as a mover, but I'm going to be like, oop, didn't think of that. I'm going to pivot here. The contemplator is going to be a straight line.
That's right.
That's right.
No issues.
That's right.
So
And
they're
sometimes they're misread as procrastinators when that's not really.
They're the most misunderstood communicators.
Yes, they are.
Are they really?
They really
Yes,
are.
they are.
Yeah.
You know,
I could see that.
And their filter, you want
Is
to tell
am I
them?
interested?
They're the only one that answers their own filter.
Am I interested?
Yeah, when
Am I
the contemplator,
Because if a contemplator's not interested,
they zone out.
Yeah.
They will zone you out.
they can be right there in front of
Everybody-
you, but they're gone.
Everybody needs to take the test because it's life-changing.
Assessment.
Okay, yes,
Assessment.
that's what I wanted to know because I hear a test and assessment. I remember when we presented it to the staff, they were like, oh, test, that means we're going to pass or
No,
fail. And
it's-
then we have to clarify that
Yes.
it's an assessment.
Yeah, that's why we don't say
Yeah.
test.
There's no
'cause
right or
test
wrong
says
answer.
Yes.
You may fail
Good,
it.
that's
You
good.
do not fail this.
But
This is
it-
just an assessment of how you prefer.
And so
to
you
communicate.
can actually do that. Use the code Joni10. You get $10 off. It's normally $49, but it's $39 if you use the code Joni10. And you can find out what your life languages are. And coaching, if you need help understanding, we've got David and Cindy here that can help you with that.
And many coaches
You got
all
more
over
to
the
say about
world.
that?
No, but what I love is you take the test and the profile that you're going to get is the assessment. It's going to help you learn a lot about yourself, but you can grow even deeper into your understanding of the languages by finding a local coach in your area. And David and Cindy are both certified, so all of our, our people that
But
are
we
watching.
do have Life Languages has coaches all over the world. You can go
think
to
we're
the
in 22
website.
countries.
Yeah, you can go to the website, lifelanguages.com, and there's an area where you can click on that you would like to have a coach to help you through your
Well, and
assessment.
you guys have really coached hundreds of people already.
have over the
Hundreds of
years,
people.
And there's also a way that if you're interested in becoming a coach,
Yeah.
that you can do that, to do what David and Cindy have done. Some people do this as a part of their ministry. Some churches have someone on
counseling
coaching
and
on their staff. Some people do it as a way of making a living. It becomes a career.
And like we said earlier, David, you became interested in it because it changed your life.
Changed my life. And I didn't really want to be a coach.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go through it, the training.
Right.
Because when you get the assessment, it's cool, you read it, it has some explanation to it, but where a coach comes in, it unpacks it for you.
Right.
Because it's not just cut and dry.
And
And I love that y'all are so diverse because you're going to bring a really wide
Yes.
range of understanding.
That's right.
For so many.
Yeah, because sometimes in our coaching, she'll say, well, he meant to say this. I said, no, I didn't. I said exactly what I wanted to say.
Just trying to warm it up
She
a little.
tries to nurture it.
well, and so, but
But that's what makes it real.
the thing is, you love it.
Oh, I
and
love it.
And
I
you love
believe in it.
coaching people.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, well, you know, when you take the life language assessment, you're not alone. Let's just see how coaching can be the real key to starting true life change.
It's not that I don't love you.
But that's what it felt like.
Well, that's why the assessment is so important. It's not that he doesn't want to spend time with you. He just needs some time alone because he's a high contemplator.
Everyone wants to be understood. Grow deeper with coaching at lifelanguages.com.
All right, well, that was a perfect example of someone being married to a contemplator. David, you're married to a responder.
Yes.
So when she comes home, your mover shaper might have said, okay, what happened today? Or tell me about, but you don't say that. What do you say to her?
What'd you do today? Or,
Yeah.
something like that.
But you
What
were
I
left in
see
it.
But he actually
mostly is
worded
I
it.
don't have softness. See, the emotives bring a softness.
Right.
Like, that's what's so cool about the different arrangements. You can tell.
But I see
But
you.
that's
I see.
probably why y'all opposites attract. So
Exactly,
That's, you probably
yes.
love
You know what he has learned to do? Not as much as he'll say, baby, how was your day?
Right.
He has learned to say it in
I was going to say, I see you be soft with her, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
you
has.
have learned how to do that.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Holy Spirit in me.
That's right. God has helped a lot with that, too. What about Fred? High mover.
High
You're an
mover.
influencer.
Oh, yes, yes. And we had many challenges because high movers can say things like, okay, just go do this. Or, get out of the way. I'm trying to do this.
Or when you first got married, he gave you a list.
Oh, yes, gave me a list. It said, wake up, have coffee, have sex, then, and these were like, 0500, wake up. Because he was a Marine. 0500, wake up, 0515, have sex, 0530, have calisthenics, 0545, shower, 0600, cook breakfast, and I looked at that and I looked at him and I was like, who is this man?
Yeah.
And I just threw it away and said, I don't do mornings. And that was the beginning of some challenges.
Right. So you and Fred were total opposites.
Total opposites. And we had problems. So in understanding this, we would learn it and practice it. And it was so important as far as healing our marriage.
Yeah, April, you said it helped you with one of your children, especially.
All of my kids. I'll never forget my oldest. She was whatever you kind of are. And, it was
I'm sorry.
no language. I mean, on the unhealthy side, she was like 2, and she pinched somebody in the nursery. And I thought I failed as a mother because I come from a line of influence. Really, I think my family is pretty influencer, although I just learned that Lisa's a contemplator. But anyway, I really thought I failed. I had to go get the birth order book, and I thought, I can't. And she called somebody stupid, and we don't say that word. And so anyway, failure. But then I got into this with Anna and Fred, and it just so helped me. I can't even tell you, it helped me learn how to communicate.
How do you parent a mover child?
Well, parenting any child is you've got to understand that language of the child. And you don't parent a mover child the same way you do
Exactly.
a responder child.
That's it.
Mover child is cut and dry. You let them know their standards. This is what is expected. This is what you're supposed to do. And if you don't do it, there's
Consequences.
Consequences. We don't say punishment, but there's consequences. So they usually will obey on things like that. Where mover children have a problem, it's when there's too much talk and too much explaining and too, it's kind of like, what are you talking about?
Oh my gosh, my dad's speeches he used to give, the lectures. Oh, I'm just like, get to the point.
Yes, okay.
That's my punishment.
Bottom line.
Here would be an influencer mother with let's say it's a responder child. The child comes home from school, you say, hey, sweetie, how was your day? and he says, oh, it was terrible. It was really a bad day. And you say, well, I knew it would be. First of all, you overslept. Then you left without your homework, and you forgot your lunch money, and you almost missed the bus. So tomorrow, let's get up and let's do this, 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 this. And the child is standing there like, it was really a bad day because Johnny pulled my hair and knocked me down. See, the influencer doesn't listen. They go into the solution.
Yes.
The influencer must listen and say, tell me about your day.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
and the reason we named this Life Languages is because these are your languages for life.
yeah. And like I said, you have all 7.
Yes.
And they're all good.
In different order.
Yeah,
Everybody
yours
wants to
is
talk
good.
about it at the table. I can't even get out of the show today because we're all just talking. All the influencers are taking over table talk right now. But anyway, we are out of time, and I love all the languages. I love all the ladies and David at the table. But we are out of time. I want you to remember there is always hope with God. And like we're talking about the languages, we didn't get into as much about the unhealthy. And you can be unhealthy and healthy with these languages.
That's right.
Based on where you are with the Lord. I mean, if you don't have the God card inside of you, David, then you're going to maybe not do as well as far as the languages, right? Because there is character, and you need the Holy Spirit. And so, you know, as we talk about all this, I think the most important thing I can say to you today is that if you're watching and you're interested, that we want to make sure that you know the Lord, because that is the most important prayer that you can pray today, and that is just to invite the Lord into your life and go on and learn, you know, these languages. It'll make a huge difference. David, I know your story of just kind of being away from the Lord and then coming back in alignment with God's plan and purpose for your life, and just changed everything. And then the languages were just on top of that.
That's right.
But the knowing God and inviting Him in and surrendering your heart to Him, that was the most important decision you can make. So I always talk about my grandpa, who probably was a mover, but he just knelt down at 19 and said, God, if you're there. And he'd had a lot of heartache. His mother died giving birth to him. His dad committed suicide. And he didn't know God. He didn't grow up in church. But he got to a point of desperation, said, God, if you're there, I need you.
Yes.
And God changed his life. Yeah. And He can do that for you today. We have prayer partners standing by. That's why the prayer line number is on the screen. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk to you about that. So call us today if you need prayer, if you prayed that prayer. Well, I do want to thank Anna, David, and Cindy for joining us. To take the Life Language Assessment or schedule a coaching session, you can visit lifelanguages.com. You can get the $10 off your personal Life Languages profile using the discount code Joni10. And as always, make that call and find out what your languages are, and have the kids take it, or if you work, your coworkers, or if you have a business, or if you're a pastor, it can help you so very much. If you see Rachel is passionate about it, she's never passionate about anything like this. She loves this. She has used it. We've used it to hire employees. I mean, hundreds really have taken this, and it's just amazing. As always, make sure to follow us on all social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for full episodes, exclusive content. Let us know how Table Talk is touching your life. We love hearing from you. Of course, you can also listen to the Joni Table Talk podcast, available now on all major platforms. But I want to thank you so much for watching. Those of you that are calling for prayer, if you need prayer, again, that number's on the screen. It's our honor to pray with you. Thank you, David and Cindy. Coaches, call them. They'll help you. They're coaches. Anna, thank you for being here. Thank you for what you and Fred have done with the Life Languages. We're so proud of you. Thank you, ladies, and thank you for watching. I hope this helps you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for today. Well, you know, there's always more to the story. If today's conversation stirred something in your heart, don't let it end here. Click on the next video to keep growing in faith and truth. And if you haven't yet subscribed, turn on the bell so you never miss a moment. Let's keep pressing in together.